Yep, yep, yep. Just give me a quick second, people, and we're gonna get this thing started. Let everybody pile in here. We're gonna talk about this Master Switch 2 leak. We're gonna talk about how Nintendo came out and just deflated everybody in anticipation to reveal the Switch 2, and with a lawsuit to the Palworld developers. We're finna talk about everything. We're finna talk about everything. We about to kick it off in just a moment.
Hold steady.
Welcome, welcome to the Hill Truth Live, where you get nothing but the raw, uncut truth. So help you God. Oh man, I'm back up in this thing. What's going on? What's good, twin? What's good, gang? What we doing? But I'm gonna tell you what we doing. We're gonna be talking about this Switch 2 leak. We're gonna be talking about this Switch 2 leaks. That's what we're gonna be talking about today. But yeah, it's it was a crazy day today. It was a crazy day simply because um we was not expecting a lot of Switch 2 leaks to happen today. And we was not expecting a lot of most of the leaks to be actually real. So yeah, that's where we're at today. This is why I had to talk about it and do a live today, Hill Truth Live about it, so we could dissect the fake shit from the real shit. And yes, there was some real shit that happened today with the Switch 2 leaks. Not too much of a spoiler, about the Switch 2, but some significant information that definitely is going to tell us some certain things about the Switch 2, Super Nintendo Switch, whatever the hell is going to be called. Um, Gave us some good info. Gave us some damn good info. For sure. So just gotta say what's up to the chat. Seem like we got the usual suspects up in here. I ain't seen KFD in so long. The predict door. I remember when he used to say that. That shit used to be funny. Um, but yeah, man, it's oh, y'all want my volume to be louder? Last time I was too damn loud. Now you want me louder. Okay. I guess I'll turn up a little bit. Um, but yeah, there we go. I think I'm loud as hell now. But yeah, man, it's we had some leaks today. So um we had a prototype leak for the Switch 2. Basically, Switch 2 is obviously in its manufacturing stage, in its mass production stage, and some factory in China leaked the prototype images of the Switch 2. Now, where everything got a little bit confused is that there were actually real pictures of the prototype of the Switch 2, and then there was a mock up made by an artist a 3D artist who made a mock-up based off the Switch 2 actual leaked pictures. So what ended up happening earlier today in the wee hours of the morning was all that came out at one time, and then eventually everything got deciphered later on in the day. But the actual Switch 2 photos of the mocked up prototypes were actually confirmed by a third party accessory maker and by some really credible leakers on Twitter and social media. So I guess I should go ahead and show y'all what some of these pictures look like. I kind of not want to show the pictures because you know how Nintendo is. They like to copyright and strike you down and stuff like that. So I try to stay away from the pictures too much, but I will go ahead and get a picture on the screen for you for the actual real stuff that was actually turned out to be real. If I could just go ahead and find them, I don't know where the hell I put them at that quickly. Um, but but yeah, it's it's a very interesting situation because not only did we get those Switch 2 images, we also got a sneak peek at the specs of the Switch 2. And I say sneak peek because it was a lot of details about about the specs of the Switch 2 that were left out, but there was some significant things about the Switch 2 specs that were very interesting. And the reason it was very interesting because this also comes out from the manufacturing leak of shipping components that are actually going to be in the Nintendo Switch 2. So basically, components like the Joy Cons, the dock, what RAM it is, all the other, shipping components to put together the Switch 2. Obviously, the components, we know what they are, but we just don't know certain specifics of the components. But since we know of specific components, we can kind of get an idea of where we're going to be at with the Switch 2 without knowing the clock speeds and all that other technical stuff that a lot of y'all don't care about. You just want to care about is it going to play all the current generation games, being the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So, um, and I can tell you the answer to that is a resounding yes. That is the case. The shipping components pretty much go in line with the early Switch 2 leaks that we had early on, which you see one on your screen where one of the first leaks of the Switch 2 was that it was running the Matrix demo of Unreal Engine 5. So, that kind of turns out. Then we had the leak about the Nvidia leak, which also showed that the Switch 2 will have a GPU that will have DLSS technology on it. That kind of works out now that as we've seen the list of components. We also had the leak that came out a little bit after that Switch 2 had been demoed showing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it looked like a PS5 game. That's verbatim what that Switch 2 leak had said, and that looks like that's going to pan out as well. So we could kind of everything is starting to kind of line up with each other now. So but the components leaks was really the good one for me, simply because it really kind of let us know where we're going to be at per se, and it kind of let us know that what can we absolutely be in store for. So um yeah. All right, I found it now. I don't know why I missed it so much, but yeah. But this is the first prototype picture that came out early this morning. As you can see, is a prototype of the motherboard and how everything is going to be inside the Switch, and of course the new Joy Cons. So one thing you'll probably notice right off the bat is that right Joy-Con has an extra buttonhole on it. Don't know what that's supposed to be. Don't know what it's going to end up being, but it's pretty interesting. The left Joy-Con still has, which I assume is still the share button. But these Joy-Cons are going to be at magnetic. As you can see, the attachments are a little bit different on how it's going to attach to the actual system itself. Now, I'm not going to break down the whole motherboard and everything that you see here, but I want to make note that there is a SD card slot, there is a game card slot, there is two USB Type C slots or connectors. Take that for what you will. And that big open black box that you see on the screen, that's where the battery is going to go. Now, what we were told about this specific picture later on in the day is that this is a prototype from last year in October. So this prototype is over a year old. So all the images you've seen of Switch 2 today are accurate, but it's most likely not going to be what the final system is going to look like. Um, Prototypes, 9 times out of 10, never end up looking like the final product. But as far as the internal components go, the internal components are pretty much not going to change that much. So we're not going to magically go from an SD card slot to not having an SD card slot. If anything changes, it's either going to be additions or it's going to be tweaks. You're not going to lose anything. But the fact of the matter is that that battery area is pretty big. Lets me know that we're probably going to get a significant more powerful, more longer lasting, more efficient battery than it is to Switch 2. Also, than it is in Switch 1. Uh, what else do we have here? I can't damn remember. There was some mock-up. I want to pull that up for you too. There was also a mock-up of actually how much bigger the screen is, and there's also some talk about how the uh the Switch 2 might have two different versions. And this is really one of the mock-ups for the actual screen. So as you see, the screen is way, way bigger. We're talking about an 8-inch screen, maybe a little bit more than that. So it's going to be something really interesting to really worry about. This is one of the 3D renders that turned out to be fake, but the 3D renders were made based on what the the leaked real life picture images that you've seen of the prototypes. I can't find the other prototype picture. There was another one that had a close up of the Joy Cons. I can't find it right now. It's just buried on the internet somewhere because everybody wants to just show these 3D mock-ups. But yeah, significantly bigger screen. So I just don't. This thing is going to be really nasty, man. It's going to be really nasty. But the other one thing I want to show y'all, which is probably the most important thing about this whole thing, which basically gets you to the title of this video and why it says what it says. Um, so we can go ahead and get to that and get that out of the way so we could actually talk about the potential of what we're going to be doing here with this Switch 2. Now, here's a shipping list detail of what's being shipped to manufacture the Switch 2. As you can see, there's a bunch of codes for every component for the Switch 2 that supposedly has been leaked. But the big interesting one that's really interesting for a lot of reasons is obviously we can see that the thing is going to have 12 gigs of RAM. The Switch 1 had 4 gigs of RAM. This Switch 2 is going to have 12 gigs of RAM. The internal memory is going to be 256 gigs. Um, Running that's going to be moving pretty fast at 2.1 gigs. Also, there is an NFC reader, so Amiibo is going to return. There is a built-in microphone, which should be great. It's going to be something special about that. Now we're going to get into the real good stuff. The real good stuff. The Switch has dual cooling fans. So the Switch 2 is going to have two cooling fans versus the one cooling fan it had in the Switch 1. Now, we already had a leak earlier, if you remember, about a month ago, about the dock having internal components and having a fan in it. This backs up that leak. as it's showing that is going to be dual cooling fans for the Switch 2, which basically probably means there's going to be a cooling fan in the dock and a cooling fan in the actual Switch itself. What that basically is telling you is that the dock is going to play more of a role this time around than it did before, simply because it's going to have some other components to it that we still don't know what that is, and it has a cooling fan. You don't put cooling fans in certain places that don't need cooling. I'm going to repeat that for y'all again. You don't put cooling fans in areas that don't need cooling. So, with the fact that we know that we have 12 gigs of RAM in this Switch 2, which is basically showing you right here in the shipping component list. Now that we know that it has actual two cooling fans, now that we know that the storage is going to be 256 gigs. The last question we have to really mark off, built-in microphone is great. I'm hoping that we end up with a camera, but I don't know if that's something that's going to end up happening or not. But I hope we do end up with a camera. So this is what we do know. We know we have 12 gigs of RAM. We know we have an NVIDIA chip that has DLSS capabilities with it. And then we know it's going to have two cooling fans. The purpose of having an extra cooling fan is basically to keep the chip and the motherboard and everything cool in operation. Switch 1 did obviously the OG Switch did not have a cooling fan. This basically tells you that when this dang system is docked, we're going to be pushing some pretty good power. That's the only reason a cooling fan would be in the dock. It's just not there for accessory. It's not there to look cool. It's there to cool components for a reason, which means this thing is going to be punching some power when it is docked. Also, what also was leaked later on today is that the power source for the Switch 2 is actually going to be higher wattage than the power source in the charger for the Switch 1, also pointing to a much more powerful system. Um, what else we had here? And there's other components, basically HDMI 2.0, 2.10, all the other stuff that you expect. So when we add everything up, and this is without us knowing any clock speeds, any extra intricate details, when we just add up what we have with the components, what we have with the leaks prior, what we have with the leaks now, um, basically using common knowledge of how technology in tech chips work, just basic stuff. You ain't got to be this tech guru PC zombie to understand this. Um, we're getting a significant upgrade. And the significant upgrade is pretty much showing us that this thing is going to land somewhere between the Xbox Series S and the PS5. Something I said months ago, simply based off the simple fact that we had the Matrix demo, talked about that being leaked. We heard about Tears of the Kingdom running at 4K 60. We heard about Final Fantasy VII Remake running on Switch like it's the PS5. Now we know that it has 12 gig of RAM. So we know all those that makes all those previous leaks about certain games being on the Switch 2 actually accurate, because you would need RAM, that much RAM, to really achieve those type of things. But we also know it has a modern GPU that has DLS technology from Nvidia. That alone already puts it in line to games that's going to be looking like on the Series S and the PS5 anyway. But the fact that this dock has a fan means a lot. And I don't think people understand that. Because if the Switch needs extra cooling in dock mode, we are going to be pushing some power, my people. We are going to be pushing some serious power in dock mode. Now, handheld mode, it's going to be to be seen. Because Nintendo can go multiple different ways. We don't know how they want to tweak it or the clock speed or what they want to do when it comes to handheld mode, but I know they will prioritize battery life over anything. But the simple fact that you're going to have a system, a closed gaming system, not an open platform like PC. You're going to have a closed gaming system that is an NVIDIA GPU that is equivalent of the capabilities of the Series S through the PS5 with DLSS technology already in handheld with 12 gigs of RAM. I hate to tell y'all this, people, but we're going to be packing some power, even in handheld mode. We're going to be packing some power. And the thing is, people really don't understand is that everybody want to throw about the T flop count, and we don't know what the T flop count is going to be. But what we do know is that with everything that is listed and everything that we have saw, everything we have seen from the Nvidia leak, everything that we see on the screen right now, and every game that was rumored so far, we're we're there's no doubt at this point in all that we are hovering around the Series S in between the PS5. That's where we're at. Um, Obviously, to punch harder than the Series S, that has to be dock mode. That's just common sense, people. And then we're gonna hover around the Series S in handheld mode. I can definitively tell you that the PS4 rumor they tried to basically come up with before that's dead. That's dead in the water. Like that's dead at once I saw 12 gigs of RAM. That's completely dead once I saw 12 gigs of RAM. That's over. That's over and done. You have a GPU that's more powerful than any PS4 GPU, pro or not. Then you have a GPU that has DLSS technology in it, technology that's not even in the Series S, the Series X, or the PS5, or the PS5 Pro. Now, the PS5 Pro has a similar, I ain't even gonna say similar, has a technology that's trying to be DLSS and PSSR. Y'all probably seen that talked about on the internet over the last week or so. PSSR is basically trying to do what DLSS is doing, and it cannot do what DLSS does. So the Switch 2 is literally going to have a graphical tech that no other console is going to have. I'm going to repeat that for y'all. The Switch 2 is going to have a graphical tech built into it that no other console, including the PS5 Pro, is going to have. And that's going to be its extra feature for it. I'm going to let that sink in for y'all real quick. I'm going to let that sink in for y'all real quick. So we have a GPU that is equivalent, a GPU that has the equivalent capabilities of the Xbox Series S through the PS5, that has on top of that built-in DLSS technology, which is not in the PS5 Series S or Series X, and it has 12 gigs of RAM. I have no idea why somebody decided to start this PS4 Pro thing. PS4 Pro is not touching anything that I just listed. First of all, PS4 Pro and PS4 is going to have last generation GPU capabilities. Switch is going to have current gen GPU capabilities. PS4 Pro, PS4 ain't going to have no technology near DLSS. Switch 2 will have that. PS4 Pro, PS4 does not have 12 gigs of RAM. Switch 2 does. I'm sorry that you got led astray. I'm sorry that you got led astray, but for some reason, people don't like to actually tell the truth about these things. But that's just the facts of the matter. This what I just listed to you is not debatable. We already know what the components are. So for anyone, I don't even know how that started to be honest with you. For anyone to sit up here and say PS4 anything, it is really disingenuous and it's just a flat out lie. This the PS4 is just not going to be able to do what the Switch 2 does. Is based on the components that is in. It's not going to be able to do anything that the Switch 2 does. The Steam Deck doesn't have these components in it. You know what I mean? Obviously, we don't know much about this actual CPU in the PS in this Switch 2, but the other components is we know enough about the other components that we ain't really got to worry about the GPU that much. I mean, not the GPU, but the CPU that much. We ain't really got to worry about that so much. We really don't. And now it all makes sense of why we heard about backstage demos, closed demos of Switch 2 running the Matrix demo, Switch 2 running Final Fantasy 7 remake, Switch 2 having Tears of the Kingdom at 4K 60. This all makes sense now. It all makes sense. It all is viable that this stuff actually damn happened because now we see the components that is actually in the system. So what makes it what makes it very interesting is that this DLSS technology is pretty powerful. And if you have not gone and watched Nvidia's YouTube channel on this stuff, just go watch it. Like, stop taking people word for shit. People want this system to be weak as fuck. It's just not going to happen. At this point, it's not going to happen. It was debatable before today, but after today, it's not debatable anymore. It's not going to happen. So take your time, go watch what DLSS technology does, and you will see what it does. This is going to make this system really push out game performance and game visual quality that's going to be able to be comparable to what you see on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. That's the magic of it. Even if the specs ain't all the way tuned up to the PS5 and Xbox Series X, that technology and that graphics technology is going to that DLS technology is going to help it boost up to that level. So we're the PS4 is we're well beyond the PS4 at this point. That shit is in the back in the rearview mirror at this point. We're well past that. What we are going to find out is where we're going to land. Is it going to be closer to the Xbox Series S, or are we going to be a little bit further closer to the PS5? The bet here is that it's going to be closer to the Xbox Series S, and that's pretty much what I'm expecting. And the DLSS technology is going to take over the rest of it, and that's how Nintendo is probably going to keep the thing cheap on the cheaper side, and I mean cheaper side by $400, around that area, because that technology, that DLS technology, is going to help you achieve, image quality, frame rate, quality of the higher end consoles. So you really ain't got to beef it up that much past the Series X. You could pretty much literally just make it a Series X and put that DLS technology on it, and you're good. You're good to go. But we're already doing that. Like, the Switch 2 has 12 gigs of RAM. It has more RAM than the actual Series S. More than the Series S, my guy. So it's like, and people got to understand, the Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally, those are basically PCs. This is a gaming console. You know what I mean? The Steam Deck and the Rogue Ally, basically, people, they release shit on Steam, which is basically for PC, and then you try to tweak the settings inside the Steam Deck to get the best performance out of it. These games are going to be built for the Switch too. That's a whole different animal. And then when you factor in the components that we see here and what it's going to be working with, it's going to be very tough. It's going to be a very, very tough outing for Xbox and PlayStation once this thing come out, because every game is going to be on it. There's no reason for any game to skip this. There's none. You literally going to get probably almost literally every third party game. And it just depends on who what third party developers jumped on quickly at the beginning and gonna have their shit ready when this thing comes out. That's really what it's gonna bank on. So that's really where we're at. So be ready to be pleasantly surprised about what ends up being on this system when it actually finally comes out or they actually show what's on it. Be ready to be pleasantly surprised because it's going to shock a lot of people. But I think the whole thing about the Switch 2 that I'm excited about, I'm ready to see Nintendo first party developers really work with this type of chipset here. Um, the fact of the matter is that they was able to do what they did with the original Switch, which was 4 gigs of RAM and basically around the Xbox One and a PS4 level. Um, I'm really want to see what they're going to do. I'm really ready to see what they're going to do when it comes to the actual Switch 2. I'm ready to see what that 3D Mario is going to look like. I'm ready to see what that Mario Kart 9 is going to look like. Hell, I'm ready to see what Astral Chain 2 is going to look like. I'm ready to see what Monolith Soft is going to be able to do. Obviously, when it comes to the Switch 2, there's still a lot missing. Like I said, we don't have specific numbers and specific things about the actual components, the specs of the components. Um, we don't know what the new generation feature is. We don't know, but the fact of the matter is that the microphone is built into the system already lets me know that there's obviously some other things they're going to be doing. We still don't know what that big feature is yet. So that obviously ain't leaked because obviously it can't be leaked through prototypes probably. So it all gonna depend on what that is. I'm ready to see what that is. That's probably the most exciting thing I have about this shit that I'm really excited about. We don't know what that defining feature, innovative feature of the Switch 2 is going to be. We just know that this thing is going to be packing enough power that we're going to get basically all games across the board that are on Xbox Series S, X, and PS5. But we don't know what that innovative feature is going to be. And seeing the actual microphone being built in already tells me that they already got some slick shit up their sleeve. I just have no clue. I looked at all these components, kind of tried to figure out what can possibly be this new feature that they're going to bring. I really don't know what it is. I really don't know. Um, I don't think we'll have a dual screen thing. I don't think that's what we're going to do. As far as like dual screen with DS. Um, but maybe there's a situation where the Switch can actually be. I don't know. That would be nah. That would be impossible. That would be impossible to do something like that. But I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say this though. Be ready. And be ready and make sure y'all make all these haters eat all this crow, bro. All these haters eat all this crow. People just didn't want to believe that this thing was going to fall in line between the Series S and the PS5. Oh, that's going to cost too much. Oh, it's going to be so costly. I'm like, bruh, the Xbox Series S is $300 fucking. It's $300. The PS5 Xbox Series consoles came out in 2020. This is coming out in 2025. That's 5 years later. It's the tech is not going to cost the same. It's not going to cost the same. That's what people don't under. It's not going to cost the same. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to cost the same at all. So it's like it's this all lines up. I mean, I don't understand what did y'all expect the Switch 2 to be if the Switch 1 was already hovering around an Xbox One. What did y'all think it was going to be? Like I don't understand it. It's weird to me that people to this day are still moronic about the Switch, the regular Switch capabilities. The Switch literally has PS4 games on it. It literally runs PS4 games. To this day, they are still releasing new games for PS4 and Switch. We just got a demo the other day. What is that game called? I forgot what that name is called. That Japanese game that's coming in America. Man, what Renantis or whatever it's called? Yeah, we just had. It's like, bruh. It's like, why the hell? Why in the world would you think a Switch 2 would be on the level of PS4 when you already got PS4 games on the fucking regular Switch? Like, what? It's just it's. Sometimes I just don't think people brains work. People brains just don't work at all. It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, the tech is going to be better. Obviously, we have proof now that the tech is going to be better. Obviously, that we have proof of what the components are in the Switch 2. Now it validates all those leaks that we heard before about the Matrix demo, about Final Fantasy VII Remake. So get ready to see Monster Hunter Wilds. You might as well go ahead and bank that in. Capcom ain't missing out on that motherfucking money. And this is where I want to talk about third party support and why it's going to look very different this time around than what you saw obviously with the Wii U. Even though it was pretty good on Switch, is going to be even better. Here's the main thing. We have now pretty much proof that obviously the PS5 has sold around 60 million units. The Xbox Series has sold around 30 million units. We are under 100. That's well under 100 million units for current gen game development. I'm gonna say that again. That's under 100 million consoles sold for current gen. So we're really tracking behind PS4 and Xbox One at this point. We already know that. So out of that alone, third party developers pretty much don't have a choice if they want to make a profit on the games that are making. They have to support the Switch. The Switch is the only thing that's a hot thing that's been consistent. The Switch is the only thing that's really anticipated on this next generation form. I don't think y'all understand. Grand Theft Auto sold almost 200 million copies. Grand Theft Auto cannot sell 200 the same amount of copies it made. Grand Theft Auto 6 cannot sell the same amount of copies of Grand Theft Auto 5 if there isn't even 100 million goddamn consoles out there in the first place. This is why I went on the limb to say GTA 6 is going to be on Switch because I'm pretty sure Rockstar wants to do the same numbers, but the numbers are just not there on Xbox Series S and X and PS5. The numbers are just not up there. We still have 50% of active PlayStation users are still on PS4. I'm going to say that again for y'all. 50% of the users of PlayStation are still on PS4. And obviously the numbers show that. So that tells you right there people are not making that jump. They're not switching over. Third party developers ain't going to make games and release games just for the hell of, new technology. They want to make money off their shit. And as of right now, they can't make money making anything exclusive to any platform, Xbox Series X or PS5. Square Enix already came out and told y'all that shit. They did not make what they wanted to make out of Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16. So that's why it's going multi-platform. They have to release their games on multiple platforms. And it will be asinine for third-party developers to omit releasing their games on Switch 2, especially with a system that is this capable, more than capable, this time around. It will be asinine for them not to do that. And I think you're going to see a dramatic shift in that. I think you're probably going to see EA come around. As a matter of fact, I think somebody from EA talked about Switch 2 the other day, talking about they're a great partner. We'll love to be on Switch 2. I ain't never heard EA talk about Nintendo like that before. It was one of the producers from Battlefield because they talked about how Battlefield is coming back, and they said they would love to have Battlefield on the Switch, on the next Switch. I was like, oh damn, I ain't never heard them say anything positive about Nintendo hardware in about over 2 generations because they know the player pool and the install base for the Switch, for the PS5 and Xbox Series is not that big. This is what makes this such a big advantage for the Switch too. This is why it's just embarrassing how Sony just fumbled this whole transition from PS4 to PS5 because they don't have an install base to give them an advantage. They really don't. And obviously in showing that keeping your game exclusive to the PlayStation platform and PS5 ain't going to help either. So it's like at this point, third party developers they kind of have to release their things on Switch, and they would be dumb because if they don't, because obviously everything's going to point to this system selling pretty well, especially if it's launching with a 3D Mario, and if that shit launches with a Mario Kart, we're off to the fucking races. So it's it kind of all just lines up like this. This is pretty much what's going to happen. And yes, chat EA did say that. I would pull that up for you. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I will pull that up and find that for you because I was even shocked that they said that, and that was hilarious to me. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You said what after talking shit about Nintendo hardware not supporting it, saying can't run Frostbite, then turning around putting Frostbite on Switch anyway, years later because you wasn't making enough money. All of a sudden, Frostbite runs on Switch when you ain't making enough money. It's funny how that works. You know what I mean? So it will be asinine as hell for these third party developers to skip the Switch too. And I don't think a lot of them are going to skip it. I think we do have a lot of early adapters. We know that Switch 2 development kits went out early in 2002. Not early in 2002, at the end of 2002. People had Switch 2 development kits at the end of 2022. This thing is releasing in 2025. Some people are going to have 2 to 3 years to work on what they was going to work on. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. Development kit's been out in the late 2022. This thing is going to launch next year. People are going to have 2+ years to work on. I'm gonna say that again. Devs had development kits for Switch 2 since the end of 2022. This thing is released in 2025. Y'all think about that. Y'all think about that real quick. Y'all think about that real quick. Oh yeah, we about the we about to we really about to shock some people. So yeah, I found it. So I'm gonna pull this up, and this was kind of hilarious to me. So this is it right here, and this is coming from, oh Lord, I think this thing done messed up on me, y'all. Anyway, this is it right here. Uh, where basically he praised Nintendo as a great partner and said, "There's a oh, you kidding me? Get this fucking whack ass Mario ripoff out of here, bro. See this dude on my screen? Oh my god, really? Wow. Wow. This this motherfucker off my screen, man. I want to see that bitch. Anyway, after I was rudely interrupted by a Mario fucking clone, back to what I was saying. Um, back to what I was saying. Uh, yeah, praised Nintendo as a great partner for EA and said there's a chance Battlefield could eventually come to Switch 2. Flat out said it before the system is even out. The first line praises Nintendo as a great partner for EA and that there's a chance Battlefield could eventually come to Switch 2. That is the best shit they have said about a Nintendo piece of hardware in 2 generations. 2 generations, bruh. All the excuses, all the bullshit that EA gave us so many years. They didn't hold a tongue about Switch 2. And it ain't even announced yet. So which lets me know they already know, or they already probably have a dev kit and already working on something. And he went on to say, I mean, Switch 2 isn't announced and it doesn't exist. I can't really comment on that. But I would say absolutely. Nintendo, along with Microsoft and Sony, are great partners for us, are important to us, are important to us on our business at EA. You ain't never heard EA talk about Nintendo like that before. They ready to release they shit on Switch 2 because they understand they got to make that money. And the install base for Series S, Series X, and PS5 ain't big enough. So they got to support Switch 2. But I just thought that was funny. I had to pull that up. That actually happened, I think, yesterday. This came out about Battlefield. And when he talked about Battlefield, he talked about Switch 2. When have you ever seen EA talk about a Nintendo console that ain't even announced yet? That should already let you know. They probably already got a development kit. They're telling you. They're telling you that current gen Battlefield is going to be on Switch 2. And we don't even have a spec sheet yet. I'm going to let that sink in for you. I'm going to let that sink in for you. They're telling you that we're going to bring that shit over there whenever it gets announced. We don't even have a spec sheet yet. This is a developer, by the way. This is a developer telling you this, but yet the internet want to tell you PS4 Pro. It's so fucking retarded. Um, so yeah, I thought that was kind of hilarious that they did that. So, yeah, as far as third party games go, um, what should we expect at Switch launch? What should we expect around the launch window for Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called? I'm still holding out for Super Nintendo Switch. I like that name a lot. I think that's the better name. Um, but what can we be looking at is really the question. In chat, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I think what the Switch 2 launch is going to look like. And I'm basically basing this off of games that was already hinted at and games that were already previously released on Switch 1 that are getting sequels this time around. So I'm going to say this. I think the Switch 2 is probably going to have the best console launch lineup in history of gaming. In the history of gaming. Why am I saying this? These developers had Switch 2 dev kits since the end of 2022. And you know Nintendo first party had it even before that. Keep in mind, it's been 7 years since we had a 3D Mario game. It's been 10 years we've been playing Mario Kart 8. Monolith Soft already told you they working on a new project. and they was hiring extensively for that shit. I think this thing is going to be the best console lineup ever. But here's what I think is going to happen for the Switch launch. And what I mean by Switch launch, I mean actual launch day, day one, all the way up to the first 6 months. Obviously, Nintendo will definitely spread shit around and ain't gonna cram shit all together. Keep in mind, we did get Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey in the same year within 5 months of each other. So I'm pretty sure they're going to want to replicate that again if they want Switch 2 to get off to a crazy ass start. And I'm pretty sure they want Switch 2 to get off to a crazy ass start. they, they they don't want to fuck this up. So, and I think is an un yeah, I think it's a situation they can't even fuck up, to be honest with you, because Sony has fucked up so bad and Microsoft has fucked up so bad. So I think they're going to be perfectly fine when it comes to that. But here's what I think is going to happen as far as the Switch 2 uh, launch. I'm going to go out and say new 3D Mario day one. I'm going to say Mario Kart 9. I'm going to say Monster Hunter Wilds. I just don't see how Capcom does not have that done. Um, Monster Hunter is now Capcom's biggest franchise. Like I said, the install base on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X ain't that big, and they want Monster Hunter to sell big. And Monster Hunter has been selling the biggest on Nintendo platforms. I think Monster Hunter Wilds is a shoe in. Final Fantasy VII Remake, we already heard, and that was another developer that talked about Switch 2. The producer of Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 14 talked about bringing the system, bringing that game to Switch 2. So that kind of brings it in. And obviously, Square Enix talked about bringing their other Final Fantasy, making the Final Fantasy games multi-platform. So that kind of lines up. So Final Fantasy remake, I think that's going to happen. Next, I'm going to say Pokemon Legends ZA. And I'm basically saying this simply because they want to make that transition from Switch 1 to Switch 2. There has only been one Pokemon game that's been a cross gen title. And I think that was Pokemon Rescue or some shit, basically from Game Boy Advance to DS. Um, I think this is a cross gen title, and I think that's the reason why we didn't see any of it yet. Keep in mind, that's very mysterious that we haven't seen any of this game yet at this point. That's what's really making me think. I can't really think about Nintendo wanting to make hardware disappear and come off the shelves quickly and having a Pokemon game that's not on it. I just think this is going to be a cross gen release, even though it's probably not necessary because the Switch 2 is going to have backwards capability with Switch 1 games that probably will boost performance and image quality anyway. So, but I think they'll do it anyway because people will probably make them buy Switch 2. So I'm going to say Pokemon Legends EA. I'm going to say Astral Chain 2 simply because Astral Chain 2 was teased in the Bayonetta 3 trailer. We know Platinum Games is working on something. We just don't know what it is. I'm just going to basically take my bets and make it and say Astral Chain 2 is probably going to be the one. Astral Chain 2 did sell pretty well. Uh, it's grown in popularity every year as people more discover the game. Um, and I think Nintendo will have no problem greenlighting a sequel for it since they do own the IP. And they were going to greenlight a sequel to Wonderful 101, but Platinum Games didn't want to make it. So, and Wonderful 101 didn't do that well on Wii U at all. So, the fact that they was willing to do a sequel to that, and then you have a game that did pretty damn good as Astro Chain 2, I think that's a I think that's a go ahead and shoe in. I don't think they tease Astro Chain 2 in the Bayonetta 3 trailer if they're not actually going to make the game. that just wouldn't make any sense. I also have the game Metaphor from Atlas. I think that's probably already done. They're just waiting for the Switch 2 to be revealed. Uh, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I think that's already done. They're just waiting for the Switch 2 to be revealed. The Doom Dark Ages. I'm willing to guarantee that game is going to be on every fucking thing. Um, I'm pretty sure NBA 2K will be there again, as usual. Black Ops 6, that's kind of guaranteed because Nintendo and Microsoft has the Call of Duty contract together. That's pretty much there. Now the one that I have that's a little bit of a stretch. Grand Theft Auto 6. Trust me, there's a lot of reasons why Grand Theft Auto 6 would not be there. Probably there's more reasons of why Grand Theft Auto 6 would not be there than more reasons than for it to be there. But I'm just going to go off of what basically I said earlier. Rockstar wants to repeat the success of Grand Theft Auto 5. To repeat the success of Grand Theft Auto 5, this thing is going to have to be released on as many platforms as possible. Um, Being that this game began development on console makes me believe this thing is probably on Switch 2 as well. And they obviously couldn't say that yet. Um, I think it was really interesting about how they ramped up they support on Switch later in the Switch life cycle. We had this Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Red Dead Redemption came out of nowhere. They was just releasing stuff left and right for some reason. I really don't know why, but I guess them and Nintendo worked out something. Um, and Grand Theft Auto doesn't have a release date. At the earliest, it's fall 2025. Um, if they was one of the early ones that had a Switch develop kit in 2022, this is something that is definitely feasibly possible to happen. I think it's very, very possible to happen. Um, but then again, I got to say the install base is not there for Rockstar. So how do you make your money? You're going to have to release on more platforms. And given that the Switch is basically in line with the Xbox Series S and the PS5, you might as well put it on there anyway. What are you why wouldn't you? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think this is a situation where we have to wait damn near 12 months later for PC because PC is a whole nother platform and a whole nother thing they're gonna have to do. I think if they are doing it, it's probably already been decided. And this can be probably something that could be there day one, or that could be something that comes a few months after it releases on Xbox Series S and X and PS5. But I think considering the support they have for Switch One and considering what they want to achieve with Grand Theft Auto 6 and considering the install base not being large for the PS5 and Xbox Series, I think this game is going to be on Switch too. I just I don't see it not being on Switch 2. I think for me the worst case scenario with Grand Theft Auto 6 is that it comes out 3 or 4 months after, you know, it comes out on PS5 and Xbox Series. Simply because the game that's been developed like that, probably started that shit in 2020 or even in 2019. They probably started developing that game, so that game would have been a couple of years in development by the time they would have got a Switch to develop kit. So unless there's some outsourcing or something, actually getting it on release day on Switch 2 is a bit of a long shot, as the other consoles. But it being there in its entirety at any capacity at all, I'm willing to go down on a limb and say, yeah, that's probably going to happen. I'm willing to say that's going to happen. I don't see them skipping that. I don't see Rockstar just skipping out on it. I don't. even though the history is not really there, but um we know why the history is not really there. That had a lot to do with the Wii. Had a lot to do with the Wii U. So it's like that's why the history is not there. But the fact of the matter is that they really ramped up their support when it came to Switch. I think LA Noir was on Switch as well, all that stuff. So I think this is the thing. So the games I'm willing to put my hat on and put my bets on again is a 3D Mario platformer, Mario Kart 9, Monster Hunter Wilds, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Pokemon Legends ZA, Astro Chain 2, Metaphor, Black Ops 6, NBA 2K, Doom the Dark Ages, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and Grand Theft Auto 6. And yes, thank you, chat. Visions of Mana. I'm pretty much that's a shoe in as well. Um, I'm pretty sure they did that already. They just couldn't announce it. I'm pretty sure they did that already. They just couldn't announce that at all. So yeah, add Visions of Mana to that. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Uh, and also Metaphor. I don't know if I said that. So if you just have that, that's a great stack of launch games. That's a great stack of launch games. I mean, that's pretty fucking impressive. To be quite frank with y'all, that's impressive as hell. Um, and that's a lot to choose from a launch of a system. And like I said, this is going to be other shit in there that we just don't know. We just don't know what will pop up. You might see a Street Fighter 6 or some of these other games that are coming out on in 2025 that that really ain't got no release date yet. So, um you had the rumors about, the Resident Evil Code Veronica remake and the Resident Evil Zero remake. I don't know why they make remaking Resident Evil Zero, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, um, even Resident Evil Zero debuted on the GameCube, so so it would kind of be hilarious if that wouldn't be on Switch too. So, I think I think GTA 6. I'm going to go out on a limb and put that on my list, even though people want to say that. I know a lot of people are going to bring up Metroid Prime 4. I don't think that happens. I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a situation where that is a Switch game. They showed us that game already. It's fucking impressive as it is now, and it's a Switch game. But I definitely think it will benefit from the DLSS technology in Switch 2 via backwards capability. So I don't think Metro Prime 4 has to be a dual release. I think that remains a Switch release that you can definitely play on your Switch 2 if you want to. I think that's what's going to be one of the biggest major selling points of the Switch 2. If the you got the native backwards capability, and if they have it to where DLSS automatically upgrades the games, it's that's a game changer, man. That's how you could just keep releasing stuff on Switch in that final year of 2025 and really not worry about it. You want to make that conversion over pretty well. You know what I mean? You want to make that conversion over pretty damn well. So, but I don't think Metro Prime 4 is cross gen because we've seen it already. We've seen it. Um, it's we've seen it. We didn't see Pokemon. They literally deliberately did not show us Pokemon Legends. They did that on purpose. We've seen Metroid Prime 4. And damn, is Metroid Prime 4 making people feel like assholes talking about Switch is weak hardware. So, I think games definitely will be $70. I don't think that's I don't see why they wouldn't be $70. Tears of the Kingdom was $70. So it's like, yeah, games Nintendo first party games will be $70. Will be $70. I don't think any third party games, because most of them are gonna be current gen games anyway. I don't think no third party games are lower than $70 unless it's a budget game that they're selling across all current gens for less than 70. So yeah, games are going to be $70. That's is what it is. Yeah, that is what it is when it comes to that. So now I want to damn. Now I want to shift focus a little bit and talk about what happened during all this leak shit. What happened during all this leak shit? Uh, with Nintendo. Nintendo didn't tweet all day. Just let us be on. They didn't tweet all day. They had us on social media just going rapid and with the speculation and what is going on and when they're gonna show the Switch 2 and all this other stuff. They ain't tweet all day, but when they did tweet, they shook the whole timeline up because I'll be damned if Nintendo didn't come out and hit the Palworld developers with a damn lawsuit over Pokemon. Yes, what you are seeing here is real. This was tweeted out a little bit earlier tonight by Nintendo themselves. It is the filing of a lawsuit for infringement of patent rights against Pocket Pair, who are the developers of Palworld. And they did it today on September 18th. Now, what make this so hilarious to me is that Nintendo waited all this time, yo. They waited all this time. They let Power World come out. They let Power World make all this fucking money. And then they just sat back, collected all the data, collected everything they needed to collect, and they went in that lawsuit and they went in that courtroom and said, "Now bring me my money." I seen this on the timeline. I'm telling y'all, chat. I nearly died laughing because everybody was saying, "Oh, they can't do it. Oh, Nintendo can't do this. Oh, Nintendo won't do it. Or they can't do that. They can't sue." I'm like, people, bruh, people. Uh, It's. I'm gonna say this: Power World was needed. Power World was needed, and it served its purpose. It's just unfortunate that the developers went about it the way they did. There's nobody who has common sense and a functioning fucking brain that cannot see that a lot of these Power World pals, or whatever the fuck they called them, I forgot, were not nearly direct copies of fucking Pokemon. Like, your homeboy RDC World even made a fucking parody video about how Power World monsters look just like Pokemon. It was so fucking hilarious. I don't know what the developers were thinking. I have no idea what they was thinking. But once I saw that, I was like, Nintendo is going to do something. I didn't know they was gonna slap their ass with a lawsuit, and now they're requesting damages, monetary damages from Pocket Pair. I ain't gonna lie, they are cooked. They are cooked. Do you hear me? They're done. They're done. They're cooked. I mean, they made a shitload of money early in the year. They made a shitload of money in early in the year, but they're cooked. They are cooked. But Here's what I want to happen out of this situation. Um, Pocket Pair, would they be in danger of closing down? Absolutely. Once I seen that Nintendo is seeking damages, absolutely they're in danger of closing their doors. Unfortunate. But this is what I want to happen. If they do have to close their doors and pay out this lawsuit, I want Nintendo to hire every single developer that was on Pocket Pair. Because obviously they are Pokemon fans and obviously they understand what Pokemon fans actually fucking want out of a Pokemon game. That's where I stand when it comes to Power World in this lawsuit. Power World basically showed what we are looking for out of a fucking Pokemon game. And they show they have enthusiasm and they show they are fans of the franchise. Just hire them. Let's not exile them. Let's not throw them in jail. Let's not try to ruin their lives. Sue them, get your money, get Power off the fucking market. Hire these people because obviously they know what the fuck they are doing. And Game Freak obviously needs some goddamn help. They need a lot of help because the shit that they gave us during the Switch era, the Switch 1 era, is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. This is why I love this lawsuit, and it's a bittersweet thing to me. I don't think nobody should be able to rip off a franchise that directly and benefit from it. At the same time, Palworld served its purpose because Pokemon needed an alternative and Game Freak needed a slap across the face to wake the fuck up. And hopefully this woke them the fuck up because people will buy a Pokemon alternative. I think they see that now. They will buy a Pokemon alternative. If this was not a threat to Game Freak, Nintendo would have never made this lawsuit. I'm going to say that again. If they felt like Power World was not a threat, Nintendo would have never made this lawsuit. But the fact of the matter is that this is a Pokemon alternative that really ripped off Pokemon and people really bought it in big numbers. They had to do what they had to do to protect their franchise. They had to do what they had to do to protect their cash cow. They had to do what they had to do to protect their income and their money. But if you're going to do anything and take any silver lining out this situation, Nintendo, please hire some of these people because they know what the fuck they're doing and they're good at it. And from what I've little bit I've played and what from everybody else I played, they love the Power World game. Just hire them and bring them on to Game Freak because Game Freak needs the fucking help. The shit that we got out of Pokemon Sword and Shield, the shit that is Pokemon Violet, the shit that it's embarrassing where the Pokemon franchise is right now as a video game. It's fucking embarrassing. I swore and I pledged my allegiance to myself that I was never buying another Pokemon game after I got bamboozled into buying Pokemon Sword and Shield, where we had flat grass everywhere, N64 trees popping up across the fucking field. Shit looked like it ran on motherfucking PS2 and GameCube. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. We still got Pokemon doing the same fucking animations they did on fucking Game Boy Color. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So yes, I don't think nobody should be able to steal and copyright infringe on your game and make a boatload of money off it. But at the same time, you motherfuckers needed a wake up call. And I'm talking about you motherfuckers at Game Freak. Y'all needed a game wake up call. and I'm glad you got one. But don't try to destroy these people's lives. Get your money because they owe you the money. And they probably got the money because they made a lot of money off this game. But I don't think you need to ruin their lives. I think you need to hire some of these people. That's that's how I feel. I think they need to hire a lot of these people that worked at this place and bring them on the Game Freak. They're obviously fans. What is it going to hurt? It ain't going to hurt none. Will this actually happen at what I'm suggesting? Probably not. I have never seen Nintendo do that, but Nintendo has been operating a little bit outside of the box lately under the new Nintendo president. We did see them buy uh Shiver, the port studio. I don't know why they bought them, but they did that. Um you know, they have done some out of the box collaborations before. So I'm like, just buy Pocket Pair. Like, why not? Who is Pocket Pair owned by? Let me look that up real quick. Are they tethered to Microsoft? I'm trying to figure out if they tethered to Microsoft or not. Does anybody know? Does the chat know? Who are they owned by? Are they independent or are they owned by somebody? I'm trying to find it now. I can't really see it. Anybody know? Anybody in the chat? I'm looking this up. Uh, shit. Oh, I didn't even know Pocket Pair was a Japanese studio. That makes it even worse. That makes it even worse, bro. Oh man. Oh, since they're a Japanese studio, definitely Nintendo buy them. Buy them, bro. Buy like there's no reason. Get your money out of them and then buy them. Like that would make the most sense to me because they already got a leg up on you on how to develop a proper Pokemon game. So why even waste that? That's what I'm like. Why even waste that? Yeah, I think they're an independent developer because I can't find if anybody owns them. I don't see that anywhere. So yeah, I don't see that they're owned by anybody. So yeah, go ahead and cut that check. We know y'all got a Nintendo. Cut that check. Buy Pocket Pair or at least hire some of those developers because my God, Game Freak is a utter fucking embarrassment to gaming. Game Freak is an utter fucking embarrassment to gaming. And they need some help. They obviously need a whole lot of help. Get them some help. You have the ability to get them some help now. Get them some help, bro. Cause I can't take seeing another 2 generation old Pokemon game. It's probably going to make my eyes bleed if I see another one like that. Hopefully we don't because we ain't seen Pokemon Legends EA yet. But their output on Switch has been bad. Very, very bad. So Nintendo, I would say pick these guys up. Obviously, cut the check first. Make sure they cut the check. But yeah, pick these guys up. Pick these guys up. At least the tech designers and the world designers or whatever you call them. At least pick those guys up because they at least know what the fuck is going on. They at least know what they want to do. They at least know what they're doing. Um. So yeah, it's because Game Freak needs the help. My guy, they need the help very badly. So yeah, pick these guys up, please. Don't waste this opportunity. This is a good opportunity here, Nintendo. Don't waste this opportunity, man. I don't want to see y'all waste this opportunity because I think this is something that y'all can actually learn from because I'll be honest with you. Power World beat the shit out of every Pokemon game that released on Switch. Power World beat the shit out of any Pokemon game that released on Switch. It's not even close. It's not even close. So yeah, get go ahead and hire these people. Obviously, get your money. Obviously, y'all probably gonna get the game taken offline, and taken down, and it won't be sold anymore. But yeah, hire these people, man. Hire these people. These people, they're talented, and you can use them and get at Game Freak. You can definitely use them at Game Freak. You definitely can. You definitely can. So now switching back to Switch 2. I just had to get that rant out the way because it's just it was just crazy that I actually seen that, and everybody's kind of reacting different ways about it, about the lawsuit. Some people are saying Nintendo is so dirty and wrong for this. It's like, no, no, they're not. It was a direct copy. It was a direct copy, my guy. Like, it was a direct copy. So it's like Nintendo was in a full right to sue these people. Y'all just mad that they didn't sue them right out the gate. They were smart. They built a case against them to make sure they can win in court. So yeah, Nintendo is right. But yeah, go ahead and just hire these people, man. Doug Bowser, if you're listening to me, hire get these people hired. Boy, Doug Bowser ain't got shit to do with that Nintendo Japan. Nintendo president, get these people hired, bro. Get these people hired because you obviously can use them. You obviously can use them, man. You can use them a lot. So now I want to know, what do y'all think about, everybody chime in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button, by the way. Hit the like button because we're gonna have these Hill Truth live streams coming more rapidly now that we got Tokyo Game Show coming up. We have, I think there's a rumor of a state of play happening, um, which is not exciting, but any chance I could get to thrash on Sony's head, I'm gonna take it. Obviously, the Switch 2 reveal is going to be coming up too. Echoes of Wisdom is about to come out. It's a lot of things going on. So definitely hit that like button, so we can keep these Hills Truth live streams going. But but Chad, I need to know, what do y'all feel about this Switch 2 leak? Um, do you feel like some of the stuff was spoiled for you, or do you feel, I'm ready to see this shit? That's really my question. Do you feel like you just ready to see this shit? Because that's how I feel, to be honest with you. I'm just ready to see this shit now. I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to see this Unreal Engine 5 running on my Switch. I'm ready to really bring this thing into my house, dock this thing, you know, get crazy over the new feature set, whatever it is. Um, and I'm ready to play. Be honest with y'all, I'm ready to move on from Mario Kart 8, bro. 10 years of Mario Kart 8. 10 years now. I want y'all to put that in perspective. 10 years of Mario Kart 8, man. That's a long goddamn time. That's a long time for Mario Kart. Granted, we got DLC, characters, courses, all types of shit. It was a very prosperous 10 years, for sure. But I'm tired of Mario Kart 8 now. We deserve a new one. We deserve a new Mario Kart game. That's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most. Obviously, I'm ready to see what the Switch 2 operating system is going to be like. I'm ready to see obviously the functions of this built-in microphone. I'm still having hopes out for a built-in camera, which was part of a leak recently, but it's not on the component list. So also the component list can be a little bit older. It could actually be as old as the prototype picture, which is from last year. So there's nothing saying that they could have upgraded it and actually had a camera. It just wasn't on that prototype. But I'm hoping for a camera so we can actually have video chat back, the same video chat we had in Wii U. Go figure. Wii U had so many great features. It's really a travesty that that system collapsed the way it did. Wii U had so many great features. You had the Wii U chat, which was the video chat. You had Miiverse, which was gaming Twitter on crack. Um, the Wii U gamepad was so great in so many ways. Uh, Dual screen gaming, obviously gaming off the TV as well. Um, the Wii U had so many great features, man. It's just unfortunate what happened to it. But if the Wii U didn't fail like it did, we would have never got the Switch. And thank God we got the Switch. Switch is one of the greatest consoles ever created. It might be the greatest console ever created. So I think I think the Wii U failing the way it did, it was a gift in disguise. It was definitely a gift in disguise. But yeah, we need that. We need that. We need that video chat back. Um, Also, I think it's interesting that the built-in microphone. Obviously, that's going to help with voice chat. Obviously, we need native, regular, damn voice chat this time, Nintendo. There's no excuse now. There's none. Like, you have a damn built-in microphone now. Like, come on. We don't need to do this app garbage. Um, One thing that a leak did also confirm. Well, I ain't gonna say confirm, but you can pretty much confirm this based off the leak and what the Nintendo president has said previously. Is that backwards capability is not just going to be physical Switch games; it's also going to be your digital library. Um, and that kind of puts in line to what the Nintendo president said about basically migrating everything from Nintendo Switch Online from your Switch to the new system. So that lines up on what the president was saying anyway. That's going to be dope. You don't have to repurchase the shit you already purchased. All your stuff is going to move over. How they're going to pull that off, I don't know, but I guess we'll see very soon how that's going to work. But I'm very, very interested in that. Also, I think people got to realize we just had we just had Tears of the Kingdom. Now we getting Echoes of Wisdom. It's going to be a long time before we get a Zelda game. Obviously, this thing is going to launch with Mario. Um, and what other game we got recently? You got Mario and Luigi RPG. You know, Peach had her game. Um, Splatoon 3 is not that old, so I don't think Splatoon 4 is going to be there with in the first year. That's probably a second year late, second year game. Um, I think we're going to see some franchises return that we ain't seen in a while on the first year of the Switch 2. I think that's what we're going to see. Um, because yeah, I mean, I think Donkey Kong is going to be one of them because they're giving us Donkey Kong HD again on the Switch. So yeah, I think Donkey Kong is probably gonna be one of them. Um, I don't know what's going to happen to the Arms franchise. I was always under the impression once I played Arms when it first came out, the only thing I could think about when it came to Arms is like this game literally could have been Punch Out. I don't understand why they created Arms and they literally could have took the story and all the characters and just made a Punch Out game and put Little Mac in it. Like it all would have fit. They all would have fit as boxers. Every single character in that game would have fit in a new Punch Out game as a boxer. I don't understand. It's so weird because I don't understand how they greenlit the game. The game is not bad. The game is good. I don't understand how that didn't end up just being a Punch Out game. I don't. It still kind of blows my mind. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going to happen with Arms. And I don't know what's going to happen with Punch Out. I think they're a little bit too similar. So it's like I want to see Punch Out return. I want to see Little Mac grace the high pixel and frame rate stage. Punch Out on the Wii was fantastic. That shit was good as fuck. If you have not played Punch Out on Wii, go play it. That shit was good as hell. Um, and it was made by Next Level Games, the people that made Luigi Mansion. So, um, so yeah, we just got Luigi Mansion 3, so we're not going to have Luigi Mansion 4. So, we're not going to see that. This is why I really think Punch Out probably can make a return. Maybe we see Sin and Punishment return. Um, we haven't seen Sin and Punishment since Star Successor on the Wii. So it's been a while for that. Maybe Kid Icarus finally gets a game because Sakurai is definitely not finna start on Smash Brothers. That ain't happening. So maybe we could finally get a sequel to Kid Icarus Uprising. Or at minimum, we get a Kid Icarus Uprising remake. They've been really heavy on these 3DS remakes lately. So I think that's one game that can definitely get a good remake is Kid Icarus Uprising. What who else I think I can return? I know everybody wants Golden Sun to return. We just had another Fire Emblem game. So Fire Emblem is not going to be there at the beginning of the system either. You see Metroid is coming out. So these other franchises have to be utilized in the first year of the Switch 2 outside of Mario Kart and 3D Mario. You're not going to get Fire Emblem, you're not going to get Zelda, you're not going to get Metroid. I don't they other franchises have to step up and come out. You're not going to get Xenoblade. You just got Xenoblade Chronicles 3. So you're not going to get Xenoblade. And you know Monolith ain't working on Xenoblade anyway. So these other franchises they have to come out cuz you don't they don't use everything. I think that's the scary part and also the exciting part. Nintendo has used almost all their franchises now on Switch, and some of them have been very recently that you're not going to get another installment out of them for the next year and a half to 2 years. So these other franchises have to make have to make their reappearance here. I mean, they just have to. So yeah, I agree with the chat. Star Fox can definitely be one. Um, what Star Fox is going to be doing, I don't know. Um, his last couple of outings wasn't that great. So I don't know. We just got Bayonetta 3, so you know that ain't happening anytime soon. This is why I lean toward Astro Chain 2 because it was already teased anyway. Um, you can hang it up for a Smash Brothers at launch. It ain't happening. That man takes his time making that game. It ain't happening. And plus, he got to figure out what the hell he's going to do with Smash Brothers because he literally made a game where everyone was there. So it's like, what do you do after that? Like, what do you do after Smash Ultimate? Like, it's like I don't know what you do after Smash Ultimate. And this is kind of like a good and a bad problem Nintendo has. They created some of the greatest games in their franchise's history on Switch, and they have to follow these things up. And some of them you got to wonder what the hell you going to do after Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. What are you going to do with Zelda? Like, what do you do after that? What do you do after Mario Odyssey? It's like, what do you do after Mario Kart 8? I mean, Mario Kart 8, it was almost perfect in every aspect. Like, that's the exciting part, and that's the scary part because they're going to have to do something very innovative to take the game to the next level and to make it even better than the previous one. So it's like, I think Zelda has the hardest transition into the next game because it's going to be hard not to have Zelda open world anymore. It's going to be very hard to retract back, and I don't think the Zelda producer is going to retract back from the open world aspect. Um, I don't know what the hell else he can do. You literally can do anything in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what else he could come out of his brain. It's like that's going to be the hardest one to get to the next installment. It's going to be Zelda, Legend of Zelda, because it's I don't I can sit here and just think all day, and I feasibly cannot think of what the fuck you do after Tears of the Kingdom. Like, what do you do about Tears? What do you do after Tears of the Kingdom? Like, it's like you literally could have did it. You can do anything you want in Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I think it's going to have to be more story focused. Obviously, they'll come up with some more gameplay innovations. Um, but when you think Nintendo runs out of ideas, they surprise you with some more shit. Because we was playing Breath of the Wild thinking it couldn't get even better than that, and he 3x'd it in Tears of the Kingdom. Like he said, "You ain't seen shit yet. Watch this." So it's like after Tears of the Kingdom, like what the hell can you do, bro? Like that's the most worrisome one. I think the same thing applies for Splatoon 4. Like, what do you do with Splatoon 4? Yes, they did the festival over the weekend and they got the narrative, but innovation wise, gameplay wise, what the fuck do you do with Splatoon 4 now? What do you do? So it's like it's uh it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really, really tough, bro, to make these next games. Luigi's Mansion is another one. So it's like, what do you do after Luigi's Mansion 3? There's kind of really some more room to improve in Luigi's Mansion 3. I guess there's some more other stuff you can really do gameplay wise with Luigi's Mansion, but it ain't really backed in the corner like Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda is, and Mario Kart. Those are the three franchises that are really backed in the corner to where, like, what do you do next? Mario done did galaxies and odysseys, and it's like, what do you do with Mario now? The only thing you can do to make Mario feel more grander and bigger is that he has to literally go completely open world, Breath of the Wild style or GTA style. That's the only way it gets feel bigger and grander in next gen. That's the only way. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way I can see that. And I'm really specifically just talking gameplay wise. Obviously, story wise, there's a lot of angles you can go with either franchise, Legend of Zelda, Mario. But gameplay wise is really what I'm talking about here because that's always been the core focus of what they do with those games. So those two franchises got an uphill battle, but Zelda has the hardest uphill battle. Zelda has the hardest uphill battle. I also was made aware that that what was I about to say? That somebody does have the 007 franchise because I thought about that. I thought about, well, maybe Nintendo will could possibly hop back on the 007 franchise and we could do something with that. But somebody actually has that license. Somebody told me that the other day. I forgot who has it. And my question is, if you have the 007 license, why the fuck you ain't did nothing with it yet? That blows my mind. Like what? You ain't did nothing with the 007 license? Why are you sitting on it like that? There's so much potential there. So much potential there, bro. Like there's so much potential there. Hella potential. So I'm really interested in seeing what other franchise we can come up with. So you trying to say Amazon got it? Yeah, I don't think Amazon got it. I think it was somebody else that got it. Okay, that's right. IO, they have it. That's right. That's the place they have it. Oh man, we ain't had a 007 game in so goddamn long. So I can really see Nintendo green lighting another Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. Um, since they did do three on Switch, and you kind of want to jump on the Marvel bandwagon, and that's when the Avengers movies are gonna start coming out anyway around Switch 2 debut. So maybe we'll see that return. Um, who would develop it? I don't know. Maybe Team Ninja again. Maybe somebody else. But who I really want to see? I want to see Punch Out. I want to see Star Fox. Um, and I definitely want to see Sin and Punishment return. I think Sin and Punishment has so much potential to be a bigger franchise than it is. Obviously, you're gonna have to change the game conventions a little bit. I don't think we could do the on rails thing anymore. I think that's gonna have to change. But I think the universe, the lure, and the characters of Sin and Punishment can make a good third person action slash shooter type of game. So, um, chat asking about Nintendo Pro Wrestling. Nah, they don't need to do that. Oh man, wait. When the last time we had Mario Golf? Maybe they'll pull some shit like that. If they come out with another Mario Party game, I'm gonna fucking go crazy. Um, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. I think they did it already. They can come out with Mario Basketball. They had that 3-on-3 on DS. Had that 3-on-3 on DS. Nintendogs. Now, why you laughing at that, bruh? I wouldn't be shocked to see Nintendogs return, bro. Like they've been going for a while, bro. What was it? What? Ooh, man, let me look that up. When was the Ten Dogs, bro? When was the Ten Dogs, bro? Oh man, what year was that? Nintendo's been out of it for a while, bro. Oh man, people loved that goddamn game when it first came out. Nintendogs. Oh man, it's been that long, y'all. Oh man, 2005. God, That's damn near 20 years, man. 20 years, man. Oh my god. 10 Dogs was 2005. Damn. Oh, I did. I did forget about y'all favorite whack ass character Kirby. I'm sorry, I don't like Kirby. I think he's whack as fuck. So I can see a Kirby game probably. You know, they throw those games out like it's nothing anyway. Um, yeah, I can see whack ass Kirby. Can we see Wave Race return? Can we see the Excite series return? Not that Excite bot bullshit. That Excite bots on Wii, that was bullshit. Excite truck or Excite bike? That's what I need. That's what I need. Excite buck, excite. I said excite buck. Excite bike or excite truck, bro. Hold on, bro. I don't think y'all remember Excite Truck, bro. Let me pull up Excite Truck for y'all, bro. Yeah, Excite Truck was on the Wii, bro. That was my game, bro. Y'all ain't know nothing about that Excite Truck, bro. I was killing it on the Wii with that Excite Truck, boy. Y'all know about that Excite Truck, boy. Let me show you that Excite Truck. Let me show you that Excite Truck, boy. Ooh, you held that Wii remote sideways, boy. Y'all ain't know nothing about that Excite Truck. Killing them in Excite Truck, boy. Bring back Excite Truck, boy. Oh man, I loved this game when I first got my Wii. That was my game, bro. That game looked that game was a good looking damn game, by the way. I was kind of shocked how good that game looked. I was like, yo, why this game look so damn good, bro? Y'all don't remember that Excite Truck, bro. Excite Truck was the shit. Excite Bike 64 on N64 was the shit. That was the shit, bro. I don't know nothing about that there, bro. Yeah, maybe we get an Excite game back. But I'm telling y'all, don't ever play Excite bots. I don't know how that got greenlit. I don't even know why that was made, bro. I have no idea why they made Excite bots. That was so trash. But Excite Truck, as you see, that thing was boy, that was a good ass game, bro. I remember that, man. Hell yeah, the Wii motion controls, boy. Y'all didn't know nothing about that, boy. Y'all didn't know nothing about that. Maybe they have a Wii Sports return again. Or Nintendo Resort. But yeah, that Excite Truck, boy. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people slept on this game when the Wii first came out, but this was the game, bro. This was the game. Y'all don't know nothing about that, bro. I definitely want a new Punch Out, bro. I don't think y'all realize. We gonna take it down memory lane a little bit because the Wii was that thing, bro. The Wii was that thing. Y'all just didn't know. Y'all just didn't know about it. The Wii was really hitting, bro. It was really hitting. Y'all don't know nothing about that, right? Y'all don't know about that Excite Truck, boy. Man, that music in that game was really good. Oh, hey, yo, maybe we see Ridge Racer return. That's not a Nintendo franchise, but you know, maybe we see that Ridge Racer return. Y'all don't know about that Excite Truck. Y'all don't know nothing about that Wave Race N64, that Wave Race Blue Storm on GameCube. Like, yeah, man, like, yo, bruh, there's a lot of stuff we could bring back, man. We need to go ahead and bring it back. That Wave Race used to look so crazy, bruh. That thing was like cutting edge graphics. We don't need no more of that endless ocean shit. Y'all can go ahead and let that shit die for a little bit. We tired of endless ocean. Oh yeah, we're not getting Bayonetta 4 anytime soon. We just got Bayonetta 3, man. Yeah, bring Ridge Racer back. Ridge Racer. Hold up, bro. Hold up. I think I gotta take. I gotta take y'all back, boy, because I don't think none of y'all know about this, boy. That Ridge Racer 64, boy. That Ridge Racer 64, boy. Ooh. I got to play this for y'all. Y'all don't know about that Ridge Racer 64, boy. I gotta play this one. I'm sorry. I gotta find this real quick. Yo, that game, Ridge Racer 64, boy. I ain't know nothing about that one right there. I don't know nothing about that one right there, boy. That was my game, boy. That was my game. Ooh. Ooh. Ridge Racer. These graphics are ugly as hell, but they used to be like top of the line graphics back in the day. I don't know about that Ridge Racer. Oh man. Ridge Racer. Ah, ah. Oh, this music is man, this music was so good. This music was so good, bro. Oh man. Oh man. The colors, bro. Y'all don't know who played this. Who had this on 64, boy? Who had this on 64?
3, 2, 1, go!
Ooh, these graphics make my eye hurt. So I think that's enough of that for right now.
2
I
laps
think,
to go.
I think that's enough of that for right now. That's enough of that, boy. Yeah, y'all don't, boy. Hey, man. Y'all don't know nothing about that Ridge Racer 64, boy. That was cutting edge graphics back in the day. Cutting edge, man. Oh, man. Cutting edge graphics back in the day, boy. 1080 snowboarding. I was more of an SSX guy. I didn't like 1080 on N64. I thought I didn't like it. Like I know all my homeboys and my friends like that shit. They like 1080. I didn't like 1080. I didn't care for it. I got into SXX later on. Like, oh yeah, cruising US. Oh yeah, bro. See now y'all done started some shit now. Y'all done started some that cruising USA boy on N64. Boy, that cruising USA with them disgusting ugly ass graphics. I don't think y'all know nothing about that, boy. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Oh man, Cruising USA was like the most fun game with the most ridiculous graphics ever, bro. Not ridiculous as in like they was good, but ridiculous because they was retarded. Oh man. Oh man, bringing it back. Ooh, listen to that music. I always pick the school bus. I always pick the school bus, boy. That was my car. I always knock niggas. I always knock motherfuckers off the road. Look at these ugly ass trees. We used to think this thing was so cutting edge. Look at all that pop. Y'all don't know about that Cruiser USA, boy. This is before y'all time. This is before y'all time. This is before y'all time, boy. I don't know about that. Oh man, hey, that N64, man. It was something, boy. Checkpoint, boy. I always wondered why the cars always came in the opposite damn direction. It's like, yo, and then you hit them bitches, and it's like, it ain't like Mario Kart. You can't recover if you hit them bitches. Man, those trees are so terrible. They're literally like flat cardboard cutouts. Oh man, this man killing it. Whoever playing this damn game right now. God damn. He had nobody challenge him yet. What is this shit on easy? I don't know. You ever played this in the arcade, bro? Oh my god. The arcade one had some rubber band AI like a motherfucker. Them dudes was on your ass. You could not stay in the arcade. You could not stay in first place. It was not happening. It was not happening. So yeah, that's enough of that Cruising USA. It was enough of that Cruising USA, boy. Y'all don't know nothing about that, man. Y'all don't know about that, man. Y'all done had me go. I don't looked up all the retro games and stuff, bro. Y'all got it crazy, man. Yeah, them sword and shield trees. Those are definitely sword and shield trees, bro. Oh man, you know what I would like to see? Oh, y'all finna, man. I would love to see Ready to Rumble boxing return, bro. I know they had a stupid Ready to Rumble Revolution, which it wasn't Ready to Rumble boxing at all. It was some bullshit. I would love to see the real Ready to Rumble boxing return. That's what I would love. I would love that so much. I would love that so much. But yeah, I think the last thing I'm gonna sit up here and show y'all before I get out of here, and I take questions before I get out of here, is that Punch Out on Wii, bro. It was one of the best looking games of that time, and it was a Wii game, bro. It was insane how the facial animations, the graphics, the everything. It was it shouldn't have it shouldn't have looked the way it looked. It shouldn't look the way it looked at all, bro. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy, man. So obviously, if y'all ain't played the game, this is obviously gonna be some spoilers here. So, but if you ain't played the game by now, you ain't gonna damn play it anyway. If you ain't played it by now, you ain't gonna play it any damn way. But um, this game was really damn good, and it looked really damn good. Um, so I got to show y'all just how before its time Punch Out was like for a Wii game. Like it was ridiculous. Just the animation and the facial expressions and everything. Obviously, this dude that's playing and playing the hell out this game, he knows all the patterns right now. Like the the graphics were so good on the Wii. It didn't make any sense why this game looked like this at all. It didn't make any sense why it looked like this at all, man. My favorite guy was Disco Kid. I like playing against this dude. This dude, he was like Cisco. He was like Cisco from Drew Hill, bro. Yeah, the Cisco from Drew Hill.
Kid.
Even the sound effects was really good. Look at this animation. It's like this is a Wii game, people. The animation, the facial expressions, all this like yeah, Disco Kid was a little bit zesty. He was a little bit zesty, but this was a fun ass game to play. This dude that's playing, he played the hell out of this game. It was not this easy. It was hard to play. It was hard. Two, three, four. But I want to see Punch Out return Switch 2. 7, 8. That's what I want. Punch Out needs to return. Yo, this bring back so many. He do look like Cisco. That thong, the thong, thong, thong. He look like Cisco for real though. This game was so damn good, bro. I don't know why we didn't get another Punch Out game yet. It just didn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It didn't make no sense. I don't know why we didn't. I don't know why we didn't get one, bro. It's kind of weird. It didn't make any sense. I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. But yeah, before I get out of here, obviously I'll take some questions. Questions real quick, a little quick Q&A before I get up out of here. It's getting a little bit late. Trying to wind this on down real quick. So any questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat. Put them in through there. Um, let me know. Any questions? No questions at all. None whatsoever. Why didn't seeing Mario Party get you so pressed? I think I'm tired of Mario Party, man. Like Mario Party was good a while ago. A while ago. In 64 days, good. GameCube got a little bit sketchy. After GameCube, it was just all right. That's a fuck enough, and they just ran it into the ground. Are you getting a new Zelda game? Yes, I'm going to get Echoes of Wisdom. I am going to get that game. Um, is Zelda as the lead for the first time? Of course, I'm gonna get it. I like all the innovative things they've done with Echoes of Wisdom, so definitely going to get that. He said my hype is overload. What will next level games release next? I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, I think they did one of the Excite games before. Um, they've kind of been just specifically a Luigi's Mansion developer lately, so um, I don't know, man. I really don't know what they're gonna do. That could be anything. Who owns the Ready to Rumble franchise? That is a good question because it used to be Midway, so I don't know who owns it. But whoever owns it is sitting on a gold mine because they could just take it back to where it was before Ready to Rumble Revolution. That bullshit. I don't know how that ended up coming out. That was just you didn't use any other characters. It was so dumb. I don't know why they did that. Um, but yeah, has it, just all you got to do is just remake Ready to Rumble Boxing One. That's all you got to do. It might be a little bit hard because uh, you had some celebrities in the game, especially in round two. So you might have to pull them out of the game unless you could get their licensing and their likeness back again. But I think uh, I think that's a gold mine. Whoever's sitting on that, because I have no idea who has that franchise. All I know they came out that Ready to Rumble Revolution, and it flopped like a mug. It didn't have none of the characters from the previous games. It was just bullshit. So I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So why would you want Super Smash Brothers Brawl? Like yeah, yeah, like the character designs, the animation for Punch Out was crazy. Actually, Next Level Games did make Punch Out on Wii. I just remember that. Yeah, it was a 480p game that definitely looked like a 720p game. And the character models, the animation, the facial expressions, everything. It was like really ridiculous. I'm like, yo, how did they get this game to look like this on Wii? It's crazy. Yeah, Michael Jackson was in Ready to Rumble boxing round two. So obviously, I don't think Michael Jackson estate is gonna let Michael Jackson be in any video games today. So I don't think he'll be able to return in the game. So, but yeah, Michael Jackson wasn't Ready to Rumble boxing round two. So yeah, and yeah, y'all could just pump your brakes on Super Smash Brothers. It's not happening, y'all. Yeah, I know how long it takes to make that game. It's not happening. So yeah, Punch Out was a really good game. So that's all for today on Heal Truth Live. Basically, we go ahead and confirm that yes, Switch 2 gonna be a powerful beast. Yes, we're gonna get that reveal very soon. Yes. Yes. It's I can't wait for it to happen. And Nintendo's about to sue the pants, the socks, the shoes. They finna get everything out of Pocket Pair for Power World. They finna get everything off of them. So um be ready. I can go live any day now because once that reveal happened, you know definitely I'm gonna be there. Heal Truth Live is happening whenever that reveal happens. Hopefully no crazy. What the hell is this man doing? He found a new glitch I ain't even seen in Punch Out when I had the game. What the hell? Damn! I didn't know you can do that. That dude used to whoop my ass when I had the game. Anyway, um, but yeah, Emperor gave you the Hill Truth, another Hill Truth, so help your guide. We're gonna come back again. Stay tuned, hit that like button, and I'ma holla at y'all later, gang. You feel me?